Muy buenas a todos, soy Focumero, esto es Focumero Gaming, estamos aquí un día más en Dragon Age. Estoy contando el personaje de Liliana, no, quiero el mío, Focumero. Y vamos a entrar aquí a la capilla, porque ya sé dónde estaba parte del glitch, uno de los tres que hay que buscar, está aquí en la capilla. Y nada, vamos a decirle que se vaya a hacer honor a su juramento. Este es.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Te tengo una carta de los irregulares de Blackstone.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
Es lo que hay. Has vendido tu alma al diablo. Ya tienes que responder a esa llamada. Bueno, pues ahora toca continuar con nuestro maravilloso viaje. Ya sabéis, voy a ir a los bosques de los dalisianos. Tocará hablar un poquito más, seguramente. Pero pronto iremos ya a la primera mazmorra. Y allí creo que me puedo hacer también guerrero arcano.
So, let me get this straight. You were a cloistered sister?
You must have been a brother before you became a Templar, no?
I never actually became a Templar. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens before I took my final vows.
Vamos a coger este cofre. Aquí tenemos esa habilidad.
No, never. Do you?
Yes. You may not believe it, but I found peace there. The kind of peace I've never known.
It used to get so quiet at the monastery that I would start screaming until one of the brothers came running. I would tell them that I was just checking. You never know, right?
No, I never did anything like that.
Combates. Estoy viendo la conversación que tienen.
Suit yourselves. The look on their face always.
Vale, defenderme que lo atacan. ¿No me defienden? Bueno, pues me autocuro. Y de paso el cambio de ratón. Estoy con el equivocado. Me ha muerto Liliana mientras me he cambiado el ratón. Genial. ¿Vamos? Vamos a pasar el miedo de ahí. Y ya está. Limpio. Levante Liliana. Y vamos a continuar. Qué buen bug. Menuda marcha de sangre. Más cuadrada. Aquí no hay nada, ¿vale? Según el mapa hay aquí algo más. Un tablón del cantor. Son los que dan las misiones. Ahí está. No, estos son enemigos. Cuidado con el líder. Este es el último en caer. Vale, viene por mí. Esta que se transforma en araña. Este se ha puesto con dagas. Prefería más que fueras con arco, pero bueno. Ahora, fuego. Vale, vamos a Liliana. Curamos. Y nos movemos. Vale, tengo el agro de 4 tipos. ¿Me curo? Cura a Liliana de nuevo. Y me toca a mí. Así que te cura. O si no, la diña. Vale, ¿podéis quitarme ya el agro de estos tipos o qué? Que ya morí. Quitarme el agro. Me sigue uno nada más. Han cogido el agro del más fuerte que había. Qué gente más torpe. Me curo. Y a este le meto un debufo. El 6 era. Vale, debufo de aguante y magia. Me quedaban 2 más. A ese le quitamos maná, si pudiera ser. Otra sangre bugueada. Ponemos a Liliana, que se está quejando. Que no sé por dónde se pone el arco. Y ya está. Armadura pesada amarilla. Esto lo puede llevar el Alistair. Y yo cuando me haga guerrero arcano, si no me hago de sangre, también. Vale, Leliana, ábreme estos cofres.
On my way.
Arco largo de ceniza y esto es un escudo. Bueno, vamos a equiparle esa armadura a Alistair. Armadura 1.40, vale. Armadura 1.75. Y esto es armadura 8.75, a ver. Es igual, nada más que está limpia. Vale. Y al Leliana es tipo quitarle las dagas y que vaya con arco. 4.40 y el arco ¿cuánto hace? 6.60. Es tipo quitárselas, ¿eh? Vale, fuera. Inventario lleno, justo. Pues bien, ¿no? Pongo esta y esta. Y habrá que quitarse inventario en la próxima ciudad. Morrigan, mejor dicho. Que se quite ya esto. Y vale. Hay que salir ya de este pueblo. A Lothering. La salida. Es que no tengo claro si quiero hacer un guerrero arcano o mago de sangre. La verdad es que no tengo ni idea. Si puedo hacerme las dos cosas y luego ya ir eligiendo. Más. Engendros aquí. Cuidado. Vale, Morrigan de nuevo. Forma de araña. No puedes. Malo. Tú mejor con arco. Ahí va el agro del más pesado. Vale, pues tienes a Leliana. Bueno, y ahora este. No me pregunté por qué se le ha sido la sangre en un piso cuadrado, pero bueno. Tengo ni idea. Y no debería. Habéis llegado en el mejor momento posible, amigo. Os estoy muy agradecido. ¿De nada?
The name's Bodon Fedek, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
Me extraña que quieras viajar con un guardia gris. Nah. No coinciden, te lo aseguro, confía en mí.
Fair enough. Allow me to say thank you again and bid you farewell. Say goodbye, my boy.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
A ver si puedo vender aquí cosas.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is
Hello.
cleaned up. Thank you kindly for all your assistance.
Puedo coger... Estos son regalillos. Tengo que vender un montón de cosas en la próxima ciudad. Nuevo códice.
And I'm off.
2 platas, vale. Y aquí más para coger. Vale, 11 platas. Pues nada, salgamos de aquí. En la guerra, victoria. En la paz, vigilancia. En la muerte, sacrificio. Lema de los guardias. Bueno, pues de pesadillas andamos ahora.
Bad dreams, huh?
Parecía tan real.
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, Part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
El archidemonio, te refieres al dragón.
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
¿Alguna otra sorpresa que deba de conocer?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Así de noche tal cual, joder. Bueno, aquí puedo hablar con los compañeros. Ay, aquí también está el mercader. Este es Levi Dryden.
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levi Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levi of the coins? Levi the trader?
Soy Focumero y no, nunca he oído hablar de ti.
Really? He never told you of old Levi? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens.
Este tiene ropa, no tiene ropa.
But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
¿Qué te prometió Duncan?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arlen banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
Dime simplemente lo que quiero saber.
Duncan wanted to reclaim the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak, and perhaps we'll uncover evidence to restore my family's honour along the way. Nobody's been to Soldier's Peak since the Grey Wardens were banished, but I found a way. They say it's haunted, and it's certainly dangerous. Will you help me?
La fe de tu familia no quedará sin recompensa.
A thousand blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Vale. Pero más adelante. Tengo ahora el objetivo de ir por la Dalicianos.
It's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Feddick at your service once again. Now, before you say anything, I do recall that your business is private. But I saw your camp and couldn't help but stop. Is there anywhere safer to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Me parece bien. Has estado siguiéndonos. ¿Qué es lo que vendes exactamente?
Anything, everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand with enchantments. Oh, yes. Sadly,
Este es el que encanta las armas.
Target for bandits and the like. If there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so long ago.
Déjame ver qué es lo que tienes.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
A ver si es verdad. Vale, armas... Oh, tienen un buen báculo, a ver. Potencia de hechizos y daño por naturaleza, 10%. Bueno, yo no hago naturaleza, pero... ¿Y este hacha 131 de oros? Fuerza más 2, crítico cuerpo a cuerpo. Vale, de lo que me sobra, que es todo esto. También esto, sí. Las botas también. Esto también, el escudo no me hace falta. Este escudo va a ser para Alistair. Cristal natural transparente. Esto no sé ni qué es. Requiere constitución. Bueno, es igual. Quitamos anillos que no valen para nada. Sortija helada. Resistencia al frío. Esto me da más magia. Y esto es otro anillo que no vale para nada. Juramento vil. Este es el de los guardias grises. ¿Y qué más tengo por aquí para entregar? Tiene un montón de papelajos que había conseguido. La vitela en blanco. Fuera. Piel de lobo. Fuera también. No vale para nada, creo. Documentos privados también fuera. Este para vender, evidentemente. Esto también lo vendo. También. Fue el del pasto. No sé si se puede craftear aquí, no me acuerdo. En este juego. Espérate, no habré vendido algo que era un regalo, ¿verdad? Pero aquí hay un montón de regalos. Mochila. Aumenta 10 la capacidad de inventario. Pues me interesa. Estos son regalos. 50 cebollas. Pedazo de carbón, regalo no sé qué, tarta de azúcar, cinta de castidad, bastón de apoyo, señora de gato, espada de mariposa, jabón. Tiene un montón de regalos esta gente. ¿Y son todos gratis? Sí. No sé si luego estarán aquí esta gente, ¿no? Pero es que ahora mismo no me interesan los regalos. No sé a quién hay que dárselos exactamente. Tendría que hablar con ellos primero. Y este tomo me da un punto de habilidad que debería gastarlo ya. Para no tenerlo ahí cogiendo hueco del inventario. Armaduras que tienes tú para venderme. Yelmo de la coraza de sangre de dragón. Esto parece más de Skyrim que otra cosa. ¿Y no tiene la armadura? Guantes, yelmo, pero no tiene la armadura. Esto quizás para Alistair venga genial. ¿Y no hay nada para mago? Esto es para el perro. Voluntad, constitución. Baluarte, que es un escudo, creo. Pero no hay nada de mago. Lo dejamos así. Vamos a hablar con este.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was he now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
¿Y qué encantamientos hace?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment.
And there you have it.
Pues es que es un poco limitado, pero bueno. Quiero un encantamiento.
Enchantment.
Enchantment. El pincho. No, espérate. Las armas de mis compañeros. Bueno, primero la mía. Esto también voy a quitar la espada. Para encantarla. ¿Qué tiene de principal? El espadón. Y a esta le voy a quitar el arco. Vale.
Enchantment. Enchantment.
Pues únicamente puedo mejorar el pincho. Ah, porque es el único que tiene huecos. Vale. ¡Buah! ¡Qué malo!, ¿no? ¿Y el pincho lo puede llevar Liliana, por ejemplo? Yo sé que no puedo. Me haría falta de destreza y un montón de destreza. Vale, arcos puedo vender unos poquitos que me sobran. Y daga encantada más 4. Y esta daga también. Aquí. No tienes anillos, estoy viendo, así que no estaría mal que tuvieras. Que sea estos. Y estos. Ya está. Cinturón no llevas tampoco. Más 5 daño al fuego espiritual, por frío por naturaleza. Este me lo voy a poner yo. Este colgante. Y ya está, le pondré el del oro. Eso se aplica al equipo igualmente.
Enchantment.
No quiero enchantment. ¿Qué cosas tienes a la venta?
Oh, certainly, I could do that for you.
Hay armas... Esta vara no tiene opción de mejora. Este hacha sí, pero cuesta un montón de oros. Este yelmo de los juegos estaré bien, ya que digo, para alistar. Y cinturones, dalisiano, enano. Aumenta la ganancia de dinero, más todavía. Venga, va, ¿por qué no? Prioridad de crítico a distancia. Me interesa para esta chica. Y te voy a quitar las dagas para forzarte el arco. Astucia. ¿Esto qué es? Mejor esto. Y me voy a poner yo de nuevo este amuleto porque no me fío de que se pueda aplicar al compañero, y además que prefiero que tenga el otro. Vale, tengo 3 báculos. Así que voy a vender uno. 20, 23 y 20. Daño 4. Voy a vender el resto de báculos y a ver, ¿a este le puedo poner flechas? Sí, le puedo poner flechas y virotes. Cuando estemos en la mazmorra, quizás. Vamos a vender lo que me sobra, ahora sí. Los 2 arcos. Y estos báculos también. Bueno, vamos a hablar con los compañeros. Menos con Sten, que ahora mismo no vaya al grupo.
Yes.
Me apetece charlar un poco.
Well, here I am.
¿Cómo es la vida en un claustro?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescendiente, ¿cómo?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
De todos modos, yo prefiero que el hacedor no me mire.
Maybe I am wrong, but it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
¿Ya no quieres hablar más?
Yes? Well, here I am.
¿Qué hace alguien como tú en la capilla de Lozarí?
What is meant by someone like me?
Alguien que no parece hecha para la vida de claustro.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
¿A qué te dedicabas antes de eso?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
¿No quieres hablar más?
Yes? Well, here I am.
Quiero conoceros para ver qué regalos hay y quedaros. Te seas trovadora errante. ¿Conoces alguna historia?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Vale, háblame de los engendros tenebrosos.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Vale, ¿conoces alguna historia de Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay.
Suena interesante.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield a sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Prosigue.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
¿Y cómo continúa la historia? Interesante.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Me esperaba un final feliz, la verdad.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Bueno, pues está bastante bien. ¿Conoces alguna historia de Ferelden?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Creo que me suena bastante. Sí, sé quién es, la madre de Morrigan. Sí, he oído hablar de Flemeth.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
A ver, cuéntame el resto de la historia.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
¿Qué pasó entonces?
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, They were captured by Conobar's men, and Othn was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Como Morrigan. Bueno, mejor sigamos. Mira, he aumentado en 2 la reacción con ella. Bastante poco para todo el sermón que me ha soltado. ¿Y Morrigan dónde está? Ahí está Morrigan, apartada del resto. Vamos a hablar con ella, que se sienta un poco mejor en el grupo.
What do you wish of me?
Me gustaría preguntarte algo.
If you must.
¿Cómo te convertiste en metamorfa?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Entonces tu madre lleva haciendo eso desde hace mucho tiempo, ¿no?
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
¿Puedes adoptar también otras formas humanas?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
¿Cualquiera puede convertirse en metamorfo?
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. Indeed, you could learn the spells required if I cared to teach you.
¿Pasas mucho tiempo en forma de animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
¿Y qué piensan los demás animales de ti cuando te transformas?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Nunca había oído hablar de una magia así.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Con practicantes te refieres a los apóstatas, me imagino.
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but to condemn all who do not fall under the circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
Es todo cuanto quería preguntarte. Por
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
Creo que tus habilidades parecen muy útiles. Sería mejor hacerte un Marte y hacerte cosquillas.
I wouldn't advise it. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
+1. Bueno, no está mal. A ver, ¿qué más
What do
puedes
you wish of
contarme?
me?
Me gustaría hablar de un tema
We're
personal.
in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
¿Por qué sigues aquí?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
No creo que te vayas.
Then I assume our discussion ends here.
Joder. ¿-10?
What do you wish of me?
Me gustaría preguntarte algo.
If you must.
¿Nunca te ha perseguido la capilla?
Why do you
En
ask me
México.
such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Me pica la curiosidad. ¿Qué tiene de malo?
Beg pardon then
Puedes
while I
tantearme.
jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
¿Y pasaste desapercibida?
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Debe de haber parecido bastante necia. No, hombre, no. Muy osada, pareces muy propio de ti. Ya me imagino. Muy osada.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Eso sí que es pensar con rapidez.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
No es la sociedad humana, estás enferelde. ¿Tocarse como cuando das la mano?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Entonces supongo que la broma es a tu costa.
You were a fine one to be pointing out the humour of fate. Shall we examine your predicament on the whole? Let's not. Me? I prefer the jest on me to the jest on you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens.
Bueno, +7. Hemos recuperado algo de relación con ella. ¿Qué más hay que
Yes?
hablar? Bueno, creo que lo haremos en el siguiente episodio, chavales. Vamos a dejar el capítulo por aquí. Y nada, nos dirigimos al bosque dalisiano, donde habrá que confrontar un permilla de hombres lobo. Y nada, espero que os haya gustado. Like, comentáis, suscribíos y hasta la próxima.